Peace. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? What's going on? Coffee time, episode 20. We're gonna talk about a couple of things on this drive this morning. We're gonna talk about, you know, uh, the old thing. Silence is golden. Silence is golden. You know, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, and I don't want to be the guy, the get off my lawn guy, the guy that's sitting around talking about in my day we did this, in my day we did that. But I don't know what happened in the last 15, 20 years with so many guys, and we're not talking about content creators, people that understand content, that produce content, or people that, you know, following the content creator from a journalistic standpoint with social media. We're not talking about those people, because those people, for the most part, really really just report content on who they are, on what's going on. Definitely if they're not celebrities. But this morning we're going to talk about something that was passed down traditionally from the elders. And when I mean the elders, I mean fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and it's men moving accordingly. Men moving as men. You know, one thing I don't like is when women say certain things to men that to try to, attack their masculinity. They'll call men chatty patties and stuff like that. But however, a lot of it is becoming true. You know, I was listening to something last night one of my brothers had played for me, where one of the football players, he was, he has this podcast, is doing okay for himself, and he was talking about a situation, and everybody always talk about, speak your truth. However, he was talking about a situation, and it involved another man that, this was 20 something years ago. Well, not 20, probably 15 years ago. Involved another man that has a family, and it wasn't just his truth to tell. It involved that man and what was going on at a club. Like, I don't understand what happened, and we as men, we need to, and I'm speaking specifically to the men today, we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back to the point where men are not chatty patties. We don't gossip. We don't pocket watch. This is something that we don't do. Even in the sports realm, I'm a big sports fan. You see it nowadays, but that wasn't always the case where a person's contract was brought up, because a person's money and how a person makes money never involved other people. You never questioned that. Unless that person, was a scammer and was taking advantage of the community, then you expose that type of individual. However, how a man puts food on his table, you never got involved in that. Men didn't do that. Men didn't question that. Men didn't, like I said, pocket watch. Oh, you making this amount of money. You making that amount of money. We got to get back to that. Because it's really, really sad nowadays how many men, like that, the OG, Keefy D, or whatever his name is, right? Literally, he's in jail. They arrested him for, having something to do with killing Tupac or whatever. That story, however it is it's going to come out, right? But literally, he's in jail for going on these shows, talking, just running off with his mouth, talking about what this person was doing, what that person was doing, what he was doing. Like, now he's 60 something years old. Jokers in the can running around him calling Pop and all this other stuff, and he talking about some stuff that was 25 years ago, man. Even if it wasn't 25 years ago, if you come from that element, you come from that street, you come from that quote unquote culture, even if you don't come from it, you keep your mouth shut. What's amazing is that these guys is not the ones that usually we say keep your mouth shut, is the ones that don't got nothing to do with it. But these are the guys that they're just coming on this internet, speaking, running off about what they was doing and this, that, and the third, and talking about crimes they committed, not realizing like, dude, you confessed to a crime. And then at first they, oh, statute of limitations. Be careful of that. If you was into certain things, be careful of running off with that. I got a real good friend of mine, childhood friend. We used to run together. We used to do a lot of stuff together, right? Know his wife, he's married now, wife, family. I love him. You know, sometimes when we get together, I'm talking about the last 20 years, right? We get together, he don't really come around. And he don't live far from where we grew up at. He lived 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, right? He don't come around. He don't be seen. You know, it's like I said, it's a crew of friends. We all get together. We might sit around, talk, play cards. But one of the reasons he don't come around, right, is because a lot of times when we all get together, somebody will bring up some old stories about some stuff we done did, right? You know, stuff as kids, we did what we did. We had fights, got into trouble, whatever. Then, you know, as guys got older, everybody got families. But, you know, so as kids, every kid goes through what they goes through in their house or whatever. So we all had stuff going on. So we were all close, you know, growing up. And we still close to an extent, right? He don't come around because he is ashamed of the stuff we used to do. He's ashamed. I mean, he's grown to be a man. He's ashamed. He's embarrassed. Like, you know, he didn't come from that environment. His family came from a real religious family, and you know, he was just growing up, making his own bones coming up. So to this day, like, he don't, like, if he shoot me a text, I call him or whatever. How you doing? What's going on, bro? How's your family? You know, how's your son? Stand third. You know, and he'll, you know, he keep it real minimal. You know, you working? How's everything going with work? You know, stuff like that. What type of projects you doing? Because he does a lot of projects around his house. You know what men do? They fix up their house or whatever. You know, have their man cave, have a lawn, might do the she shed for the wife, whatever. But the minute that somebody start talking about some stuff from back in the day, oh, he gonna cancel you. He gonna stop talking. And he's not gonna stop talking because he don't trust you or somebody's around that don't need to hear the story. He's gonna stop talking because he's ashamed of the things we used to do. So we as men, man, we gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back. Like, some of us may have done some stuff that we really shouldn't be glorifying. If you telling somebody a story about some stuff you did to benefit them, if it don't involve just you, that's not just your story to tell. That's other people's story to tell as well. So you're not only telling on yourself or telling your story on yourself, you're telling somebody else's story. Like I said about my boy, he don't want people to know what he used to do. You know what I mean? His son 30 years old now. Like, if his son knew what he used to do, he might be like, Pops, you know, I ain't know nothing about that. You know, I'm a little different. On a personal level, I'm a little different. My son knows most of the stuff that I used to do. But you don't use that stuff that you used to do in your youth as a way of glorifying it. You know, this men being chatty patties is just, it's gone too far. Like, I'm an advocate of people having podcasts. I get it. I love it. I love the, you know, podcasts. You get to, you know, conversate with people. You get to connect with people you don't know. And it's a good way of networking. Definitely if you're trying to do something, you know, for the culture, as we say, the culture, and for your people, But to sit up there and be a chatty patty dude, that's not what we're supposed to be doing as men. We're supposed to be leading. And if you ain't a leader in your community, you should at least be a leader in your home. Your woman don't even respect you if you're a chatty patty. She may not say nothing, but in the back of her mind, she running around talking about, my man, he gossip like a hoe. You know, and I understand society is so transitional and words change and things change. But we got to this is the part of bringing back that strong masculinity. Like, I don't know, you know, it's like taboo and people try to make this weird definition of toxic masculinity, which is just retarded. Because what makes a man masculine is innate. It's innate nature. It's innate. You're taught to be masculine. And you're taught some things by nature to be masculine as a man. But one of those things, and I know a lot of people may blame it up on men growing up around women, or nah. I got a lot of women. I got a big family, both sides. A lot of women, a lot of men. I was taught at an early age, you shut up, man. You keep your mouth shut. Y'all know how it used to be back in the day. If you repeated something in your house that your parents had going on, you was going to have a problem. If your father wasn't checking you, your mother was checking you. And they was checking you hard. Your uncles was checking you. Like, we got to get back to being men. And having that type of honor, dignity, respect. And just overall, like, yo, shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Like, most of these people don't even realize, like, yeah, it's social media nowadays, but yo, if you got a situation going on and you used to do certain things, the first thing they do is go to social media. Because you talk too much. You're sitting there telling stories, man. You're sitting there telling everything. That's what these guys do. You know, a lot of people in that that entertainment industry, you're sitting around here telling stories about stuff y'all used to do. Like, that's crazy. That's not what men do. That's not what men ever did until lately. Keep your mouth shut, man. You know what they used to say? Keep your head down and keep your mouth shut. Definitely when you was around. For example, when I was a kid, right, I used to go to a pool hall with my godfather. You know, him and my father shot pool. I wasn't old enough to be in there. But when I went in there, I was told one thing. What you see here, you don't repeat. You keep your head down and you keep your mouth shut. That was the rules. We got to get back to that. So with that, everybody take it easy. Have a good day. Stay hydrated. And y'all stay safe out there.